4. WhiteyBulger September 3, 1929 to October 30, 2018. WhiteyBulger was a prominent figure in Boston's organized crime scene from the 1970s until the mid-90s when he fled the area. Captured in 2011, he was later found guilty of federal racketeering, extortion, conspiracy in 11 murders. WhiteyBulger was an American organized crime boss who led the Winter Hill Gang in the Winter Hill neighborhood of Somerville, Massachusetts, a city directly northwest of Boston. On December 23, 1994, Bulger fled the Boston area and went into hiding after his former FBI handler John Connolly tipped him off about a pending RICO indictment against him. Bulger remained at large for 16 years. After his 2011 arrest, federal prosecutors tried Bulger for 19 murders based on grand jury testimony from Kevin Weeks and other former criminal associates. About Winter Hill Gang. The Winter Hill Gang was a loose confederation of organized crime figures in the Boston, Massachusetts, area. It is generally considered an Irish mob organization with most gang members and the leadership consisting predominantly of Irish Americans, though some notable members such as Johnny Martorano are of Italian-American descent. The organization itself derives its name from the Winter Hill neighborhood of Somerville, Massachusetts, north of Boston. Amongst its members several have been notorious Boston gangsters such as Buddy McLean, WhiteyBulger, Howie Winter, Joseph McDonald, Patrick Ney and Stephen Flemmi. They were most influential from 1965 under the rule of McLean and Winter, to the 1979 takeover led by Bulger. Although Bulger adamantly denied it, the FBI stated that he had served as an informant for several years starting in 1975. Bulger provided information about the inner workings of the Patriarca crime family, his Italian-American mafia rivals based in Boston and Providence, Rhode Island. In return, Connolly, as Bulger's FBI handler, ensured that the Winter Hill Gang were effectively ignored. Beginning in 1997, press reports exposed various instances of criminal misconduct by federal, state, and local officials with ties to Bulger, causing embarrassment to several government agencies, especially to the FBI. About Patriarca crime family. The Patriarca crime family, also known as the New England Mafia, the Boston Mafia, the Providence Mafia, or the Office, is an Italian-American mafia family operating in New England. It has two distinct factions, one based in Providence, Rhode Island, and the other in Boston, Massachusetts. The family is currently led by Carmen, the Cheese Man, D'Annunzio, who is part of the Boston faction. The family is primarily active in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, with other territory throughout New England. After Bulger became a fugitive in 1994, he was added to the FBI's 10 Most Wanted Fugitives list in 1999, and was considered the most wanted person on the list behind Osama bin Laden. He was apprehended along with his longtime girlfriend, Catherine Gregg, outside an apartment complex in Santa Monica, California, on June 22, 2011. By then he was 81 years old. Bulger and Gregg were then extradited to Boston and taken to court under heavy guard. In June 2012, Gregg pleaded guilty to conspiracy to harbor a fugitive, identity fraud, and conspiracy to commit identity fraud, receiving a sentence of 8 years in prison. Bulger declined to seek bail and remained in custody. Bulger's trial began in June 2013. He was tried on 32 counts of racketeering, money laundering, extortion and weapons charges, including complicity in 19 murders. On August 12, Bulger was found guilty on 31 counts, including both racketeering charges, and was found to have been involved in 11 murders. On November 14, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences plus 5 years by U.S. District Court Judge Denise J. Casper. Bulger was incarcerated at the United States Penitentiary Coleman II in Sumterville, Florida. Bulger was transferred to several facilities in October 2018, first to the Federal Transfer Center in Oklahoma and then to the United States Penitentiary, Hazleton, near Brewston Mills, West Virginia. Bulger, who was in a wheelchair, was beaten to death by inmates on October 30, 2018, within hours of his arrival at Hazleton. In 2022, Focios Hayes, Paul DeCollegiero and Sean McKinnon were charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder in Bulger's death. On October 30, 2018 at around 8:20 a.m. Bulger was found unresponsive at a United States penitentiary in Hazleton, West Virginia where he was recently transferred. Movies. The 2014 documentary film Whitey, United States of America v. James J. Bulger made by Joe Berlinger is based on Bulger's trials. The film Black Mass, released September 18, 2015 in the U.S., stars Johnny Depp as Bulger and was directed by Scott Cooper. The film's screenplay is based on the 2001 non-fiction book Black Mass, the true story of an unholy alliance between the FBI and the Irish mob by Dick Lair and Gerard O'Neill. The character of Frank Costello, played by Jack Nicholson, in the 2006 Martin Scorsese film The Departed is loosely based on Bulger.